Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My husband has multiple online relationships.
He swears he's not being catfished.
The woman I met at the airport was real.
Is he a charmer?
She came up and told you her name was Kimberly and exchanged passionate kisses with you.
Yes.
Or the victim of a love scam?
We had the opportunity to speak with her. She says that she doesn't know you from Adam. So how is that possible?
The surprising answer.
This woman has absolutely nothing to do with this scam. She is a victim just as you are. Somebody stole her identity. You've been talking to a dude. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Well, yesterday we heard some outrageous accusations about a cheating husband. Kristine says Jerry has graduated from fooling around with their neighbors to carrying on romantic relationships with women he meets online. Now, the problem is Kristine is convinced that Jerry's online girlfriends are not real and that he's being catfished. She says Jerry has sent these women thousands of dollars and has put their financial future in jeopardy. Now, Jerry says his online love connections are not imaginary, and he has even met one in the flesh. He says his marriage with Kristine is over, and she needs to butt out of his love life. Here's what's happened so far.
Jerry is throwing away my financial future with online dating scams. There are 4 women that I know of. You thought you were going to have some young chick hanging on your arm? What the hell are you thinking? Each of them have promised Jerry millions. It's all lies. He has wired money to all 4 of these women. What are you getting out of this, Jerry? They're screwing you. What is it going to take?
You seem a little frustrated.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Kimberly and I are in love, and I want to be with her forever.
Does it make common sense to you that Kimberly, who's young and energetic and attractive, I mean, you know, you and I are a little long in the tooth.
She says she likes mature men.
Well, you are that.
Kimberly asked me to meet her at the airport. We shared passionate kisses.
Did you actually physically meet Kimberly?
I actually met Kimberly. I started with meeting ladies online. I lost my attraction to you.
Then you should have left me.
I'm going to sit here and be very open with you. There was abuse that went both ways. One night, I overpowered him. I got behind him. I put him in a chokehold, held him until he passed out.
Do not cheer that behavior.
No.
Jerry called some of his online romances in front of our cameras so we can hear what they sounded like. He was able to reach Kimberly, and this is what we heard when he got her on the phone.
You take care of yourself, and you know that I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Okay, I love you.
I'll love you more.
Kimberly reminded me of a friend of mine, and I asked her to call into the show.
Hey, Jerry. This is Phyllis. I hear you are a really nice man. I would sure like the opportunity to meet you one day. I'll see you later.
Notice anything similar in the sound of those 2 calls?
No.
I mean, it's just 2 women to you, right?
Yes.
Well, hang on. There's more about Phyllis.
Hey, Jerry. This is Phyllis. I would sure like the opportunity to meet you one day. That is, if we could do it without your wife finding out about it, because I'm sure she wouldn't be too happy.
But to tell you the truth, this isn't Phyllis. This is actually Phil.
That's good.
Sometimes when we see a catfish situation, we feel like someone has stolen a picture. And in this situation, it was very unusual because sometimes we can't find who the real person is. In this case, we were able to find all 4 women. First is Kelly. This is the first one that you met that you're not involved with anymore. And this is where they found her. Now, we've had to blur the picture here, but this is Kelly. This is the picture that you first saw, right?
Yes.
And this is the exactly the same picture. It went on a little further. She didn't show all the pictures, but that was actually on a porn site. And I can show you some things here that I can't show the rest of the audience. And according to Jerry, Kelly Williams is 35 years old. Alias is Kelly Williams, Kelly Smith, Kelly Gillian from Greenville, Ohio, currently Elko, Nevada. We tracked that down, and our research shows that no one of that age or using those names currently or has ever resided in any of those locations, in either of those cities. There's never been anybody there. That's the picture you saw, correct?
Yes.
This is other pictures of her. That's her side by side. And this is her name in the pornography sites. That's where they found her. So now you know a little bit more about her than you did before on several different levels.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. So that's Kelly. Okay, let's talk about Kimberly. Here is the young lady that you met at the airport, and we had the opportunity to speak with her. This woman right here.
Okay.
That's the woman you say that you know. You now know more about her than you did before. And according to Jerry, alias is Kimberly Stock, 36 years old, from Texas, currently in Lagos, Nigeria, has a jewelry and antique business. Our research shows that no one of that age or using that name currently or ever resided in any of the locations that she told you that she did. And when we had the opportunity to talk with her, she says that she has never met you, has never asked for or received any money from you, doesn't know you from Adam.
Okay.
How is that possible?
Take a deep breath. Make sure you answer it truthfully this time.
I did answer.
Help me out here. We've talked to her. She's very forthcoming. We've checked her background. We know what she's doing now. She's not in this industry anymore. She's moved on. She has a family.
Well, the only thing I can say was someone pretty close to that.
Just some random woman came up and told you her name was Kimberly?
Yes.
And exchanged passionate kisses with you?
Yes.
And she's now in Nigeria?
Currently, yes.
Because she has containers there full of gold and jewelry and just needs money to get them through customs.
Right.
It's a common theme. We've got gold, diamonds, cash. We're stuck at customs. Look at what happened to another guest on our show just within the last several weeks. And later, you're obviously a very attractive young woman. Has it happened to you before?
I was begging him to please stop. It's not me. None of it is true.
Kristine says that Jerry has put them on the brink of bankruptcy by sending money to online scammers pretending to be beautiful young women that are in love with Jerry. Jerry has also fell for a woman named Candace, who apparently dropped a vowel out of her name. We talked to her. And here is Candace. According to Jerry, aliases that she had were Candace, missing a vowel, Mitchell, from Oregon. So we checked. Our research shows that no one of that age, with or without the vowel, are currently ever resided in that state. There's no one of that name that is there now or has ever been there. That is a made-up name, does not exist there. And she currently can be found. I'm not going to advertise the site, so I've redacted much of it, But here is where they're finding some of these girls. It's called Meet the Models of Blank Girls. They've gone on there, picked out girls that had poses that are normal, because the angle of this particular website is to show the fantasy of like a normal looking Midwest type girl. So they're able to, find a girl walking a dog or something and use that picture, and they build a story around it. And we talked to the owner of the website, who gave us permission to show this here and where these girls come from. That's where these pictures came from. This is where Candace's picture came from.
Okay.
She doesn't live in Oregon. She works on this porn website, has no idea that someone stole her picture. They stole her picture. They stole her intellectual property. That's her picture. And this is her picture that you saw, right?
Yes.
And this is her picture from the website. And you can see we took the picture you had, we put it through facial mapping, where you look at the distance between the eyes, you look at the distance between the lip and the nose and the different areas, and we paired them up, and that is the woman. You can see the facial mapping that they did with the computer. That is the woman.
Yeah.
From the website. That is your Candace. I mean, obviously you can see it looks like her, but also we mapped it computer-wise, and that is her.
Okay.
So she's not who they say she is. Somebody stole her identity. Jerry, you're not the only one who has been scammed about jewels and things stuck in containers in customs. Take a look at what happened to another guest on our show just within the last several weeks.
Kelly now lives in Nigeria. Her father left her goods worth $2 or $3 million. She told me she had the money and goods put in 2 steel boxes.
In box 2, there's $3 million in diamonds and jewelry.
For the last 6 years, I've been trying to help Kelly get these steel boxes shipped from Nigeria to the United States. We're afraid if the boxes are opened by customs. I've spent over $750,000 getting these boxes shipped to this country.
It's a common theme. We're stuck in Nigeria. We've got gold, diamonds, cash, jewelry in containers. We're stuck at customs. All we need is the money to pay the tax, the customs tariff. We'll get over there and we'll open these boxes and we'll be happy forevermore. The good news for you is this gentleman spent about $1.3 million. And you haven't spent that much money.
No.
You're finding out now. She doesn't exist. The picture exists. It was that they went and found these 4 women on porn sites, pulled their pictures off, matched stories up to the pictures, put them on the website, got a guy with a voice modulator. You've been talking to a dude. When we come back, we're going to talk to another one of Jerry's girlfriends named Rose. And when I say we're going to talk to her, we're going to talk to her. And we're going to find out why she feels like the victim. Does this sound at all like Rose?
No.
She's been harassed, she's been haunted, she's been stalked by people where she's had to go through all means to try to protect herself.
And later, an update on a former guest who said she married her Nigerian boyfriend.
Since we've got married, I've visited him 8 or 9 times in Nigeria.
Now, we have on Polycom a woman who Jerry knows as Rose. Now, he says he met her online on a dating website a couple of months ago.
Hi, Dr. Phil, how are you?
Thank you for being on and talking to us. And I wanted to conclude with the pornography website and get that over with. That's done. That's over. Now we're moving on to the 4th person, who you know is Rose, who has nothing to do with all of that. That part's over. They just stole her identity. Rose, someone took your identity, correct?
Correct. And it's done every single day.
Your picture is on Facebook and different places, and people steal your identity. Has it happened to you before?
Yes, it has. I actually get emails every few days, every week, with men telling me, you took my money, you said you love me, you said you're going to marry me, you said you're going to meet me at an airport. And I let them know it's not me. I have never done it before. I tried to explain myself, and I asked them not to send any more money. And these scammers, they brainwash them so much that they continue to send the money after I tell them not to. They send me receipts showing it to me, and I'm like, please stop. There's only so much I can do, but I find myself to be the victim and all these other girls because we don't even know what's going on, and it's happening every single day. You don't have to be a model to get your identity stolen. The minute you post your pictures on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, it can be stolen. They target men over 60. They brainwash them. It's their job. It's their income. That's how they make the money. And I feel terrible for every single person that this has been done to. And it really, it should be a stop to this.
They stole her picture, and what happens is they'll steal her picture and put it up on 50 different websites. And they just throw the bait out there, and people pick it up, and it'll be on 50 different websites. And that's why she gets pinged with these emails and stuff when people find out, and because she's out there on so many different websites, and she has nothing to do with it. They stole her identity. It's just like somebody stealing your social security number and going out and opening a bunch of accounts. They steal her picture, they steal her identity, create a story with it, and now people are out there thinking she's the one doing this. Let me be very clear. We do deep dives. This woman has absolutely nothing to do with this scam. She is a victim of this scam just as you are.
Okay.
That is not Rose. There is no Rose, and she's just a victim here. So, and she's been harassed, she's been haunted, she's been stalked by people where she's had to go through all means to try to protect herself because people got so obsessed with trying to find you, correct?
Yes, I actually had a man who was scammed for 2 years. He kept sending money to Ghana. He's the one actually sending me the receipts, and I was begging him to please stop. I'm not getting the money, it's not me. It got so bad, he was harassing my family. He was calling me, he was calling my family members, which became very scary because he was telling them a story that it made no sense. What they also do is they Photoshop up pictures to make us look in certain situations. So there will be a picture of me in a hospital, please send me $50,000 I need a surgery, or please, send me money because my sister died, and none of it is true. I actually had to call police and make a police report because I was scared that he's going to show up at my house because he's telling me you ripped me off, where's my money, you took money from me, and I never took a penny from anyone. So it's actually really scary. I was scared. I was actually thinking about selling my home because I didn't know if he's going to come ring my bell and do God knows what.
Well, I hope this helps clear some of that up because, again, I want to be very clear. We have found a victim in this. She is not a perpetrator. She is a victim here. Don't have any misunderstanding about that. Thank you for talking to us today. All right. Coming up, what is the best solution for Kristine and Jerry? I'll give you my thoughts next. Closed captioning provided by... Okay, I'm back with Kristine, Jerry, and daughter Sophie. Jerry, tell me what you're thinking right now.
I've been ripped off.
What convinces you that that's true?
The last caller, or the last person, showed that she's been victimized just like I have been.
So you weren't convinced until...
Well, no, I see some of the other points I see where the lady was victimized.
That helps.
Yes.
That helps. Listen, the good news here is I often deal with these things in the hundreds of thousands or $1 million. And fortunately, you haven't been taken to that degree. Right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay. And you see who these women really are, right?
Yes.
And the women that I've shown you the information on the pictures here, they're victims too. Their identities were stolen. These women aren't using assumed names and scamming you. Someone stole their identities. We've talked to them. They don't know anything about this. These women have gone on in their lives. One's a nurse, has a couple of children. She's married. She's gone on. That's why we've blurred their faces here. We've respected their privacy, but they've allowed us to use those images with some measure of anonymity. That's why I've shown you the pictures privately, so you know that's exactly who that is.
Yes.
Those are the pictures you've gotten. This woman is not in Nigeria with containers. The only thing worse than getting bad news is not getting bad news if it's the truth. You don't want to go another day living a fiction, right?
That's right.
And if you two are in a relationship that is not repairable, then do what you have to do to make a civil unwinding of that relationship. If it is repairable, then let me help you get it repaired. If you are moving on with your lives, then, meet some women that you can talk to and shake hands with and go to dinner with and go see a movie with, and not trick yourself into something that's just not real. Is this relationship over?
Definitely. In regards to marriage?
Yes.
Definitely. I could never trust him again.
Okay.
Never.
Well, if that's the case, then I want to help you guys individually. I want to get you some help and whatever is necessary, financially, psychologically, whatever, to get you a plan moving forward. Because, listen, you got a lot of your life ahead of you. You got a lot of your life ahead of you. You need to. The good news is this phase is over, and you can choose what you want moving forward.
Okay.
And create what you want. Create a vivacious life. How old are you?
67.
That's you got a wonderful life ahead of you. And you need to make the most of it. But you do it founded in reality. You take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and do what's real. And people know the truth when they hear it. Don't you think?
Yes.
Doesn't this have a ring of truth to it?
Yes, it does.
Okay?
Yes.
Are you glad you came here?
Yes, I am very glad.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Coming up, just like Jerry's women, our next guest photo was used to scam a well-respected doctor out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're going to meet her next. Closed captioning provided by Mark is a guest from a past show who was both a respected doctor and father who met an attractive blonde named Kelly Smith on a dating website after his divorce. He says Kelly told him that her father passed away and left her $3.5 million in cash and $3 million in jewelry and diamonds. She supposedly put everything into 2 metal boxes and agreed to give Mark 50% of her inheritance if he would just help her get the boxes from Nigeria to the United States. But 6 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars later, the boxes still have not arrived. But that did not stop Mark from trying to help Kelly.
I met Kelly on Match.com. She seemed really nice. She told me her father left her deed to property in Nigeria worth about $3.5 million and goods worth $2 or $3 million. She told me she had the money and goods put in 2 steel boxes. For the last 6 years, I've been trying to help Kelly get these steel boxes shipped from Nigeria to the United States. I've spent over $750,000. I'm almost 100% sure everything is real.
Let me ask you this. Is there a possibility that this is a scam?
You don't understand the story still.
I'm trying to understand the story.
I'm trying to explain it to
I
you.
keep asking you, and you keep saying, well, I don't know. I don't know. We sent a field reporter in Nigeria to the addresses that Mark gave us for Kelly. This is what happened.
So right now, we're about to look for Kelly Smith and Lampa Avenue Road. These addresses that we went to do not exist.
I wanted you to have the closure of seeing these boxes and seeing what's in them.
Nothing.
Nothing. Kelly originally sent him a photo of herself. We're showing these pictures knowing that the women in these photographs are not scammers. Whoever they are, we want them to know their photo is being used, in our belief, to perpetrate a scam. If this is your picture, please reach out to us. Well, we found the woman behind the photo. Her name is Lauren, and she's here. So, Lauren, I'm glad to meet you, the woman behind the picture. Can you believe that your picture identity was hijacked and used in this way?
No, it was very surreal.
Have you seen the whole story now and know everything that went on?
My husband and I looked up the clips to see what was available. We actually don't use cable. And so an old high school friend of mine actually contacted me by text message and sent me the pictures from her television. And it was just very surreal. I couldn't believe it was me. And my husband has all these photos on his laptop.
The photos that you saw that this man has been relating to, talking to, and has sent over $1 million to, he thought he was sending this to you. So this picture is on your husband.
That's in my kitchen.
That's in your kitchen.
Where I live now.
So, and this picture was on the internet somewhere, on Facebook or something, or?
I used a few dating sites, and this could have been a photo that I would have used.
It's astounding, but he is still talking to that person today, even after being here on the show.
Yeah.
Still talking to him today. When you found all of this out, it had to be shocking.
Absolutely shocking. My husband and I were eating pizza in a park and when she contacted me, and when we went home we started watching the clips. I just couldn't believe it. And when you were standing there with half of my face and this other woman's half of her face encircling my face, I was like, that's my face. He's circling my face.
Yeah, this was the picture you're talking about right here.
Yes. It was so surreal, and I just couldn't believe it.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Well, we asked Mark to come and meet Lauren, but he declined. I mean, he's still talking to this person. He declined to come and meet you, but he did give us a statement, and this is what he said. He said, quote, "I'm still talking to Kelly Smith. I told her that if she brings the boxes to the States, I will decide at that point if I want to see her. I did stop sending her money. People question my judgment and also think that I will overcharge them to get money back that I lost on the scam. Even if the woman in the picture is Kelly Smith, I have no interest in meeting her. The woman with whom I have been communicating with for the past 6 years has a certain type of personality I have grown accustomed to. I don't care to meet the real one since she is a stranger to me."
I feel a lot of compassion for Mark, and I really feel for his family. They're missing time with him, and it's very, very sad.
And you know, these people prey on those that are older in age and are lonely, and they take their life savings, and then they wind up at their end of their lives losing everything they've worked for, everything they've saved, and then they're broke and have nowhere to go. And, you know, that's the tragic part of this. So, all right, well, listen, thank you for coming and putting it. So hopefully he'll see this and it will help him. All right, coming up, find out what happens with our guest whose family thought her much younger husband in Nigeria was romancing her just to get his hands on her millions. Are they still married? Our past guest, Deanna, is a smart, successful, and wealthy business owner who has been married for almost 7 years to a man who lives in Nigeria. She says he is the man of her dreams, but her son Jordan and her brother Dale believe that all her Nigerian husband James sees when he looks at Deanna are dollar signs.
I met James in 2008 when I was on a family vacation in Malaysia. I knew right away he was Nigerian. When I went to Nigeria, I met his family. I felt comfortable. At the end of that trip, James proposed to me and I accepted. Since we've got married, I've visited him 8 or 9 times in Nigeria. I want to be with my husband. I've sent James approximately $25,000.
I see Mom being James's cash cow, and he knows it. He's living like a king over in a third world country.
I've given him clothing, jewelry, necklaces, rings, a couple watches. I've spent $500,000.
That's just crazy.
You want to know the truth, right?
I do.
Why was he not coming to see you?
He had a wrong age on his passport.
It's more than just wrong age on the passport. He actually has 5 passports.
James is a fraud. She'll believe anything she can so she doesn't have to say it's a scam.
Joining us now from Nigeria is Deanna's husband, James. Are the two of you legally married in Nigeria?
Yeah, we are legally married in Nigeria now.
This is the marriage certificate that you provided to us, but we contacted that department. They've never seen this document. They don't issue this document.
I know you're finding this hard to believe. They don't spell English how we spell. It's not how we write.
Would they misspell registrar?
Possibly, yes.
The website they send you to email here for the government is an address at yahoo.com.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't read it.
You are in possession of what I believe to be a fabricated document. If that doesn't give you pause, there's something wrong with your logic. You can't continue to turn a deaf ear to this. You need to consider the fact that you are being played here. Well, was Deanna's family right to be concerned, or did Deanna and her Nigerian Prince Charming live happily ever after? Well, why don't we just ask Deanna and her son Jordan, who are joining us via Polycom. Hello, guys.
Hi, Dr. Phil.
Hey, Dr. Phil.
So, Deanna, tell me how things are going with you and your husband, James.
Well, we're still married, and I've been over a couple times since the show. Met us with his family again. We've verified marriage certificates. There's an appeal going to happen in Canada, and hopefully we get to be together permanently. We're off to meet each other again with my aunt and my cousin in Morocco. So everything is still going good, and we are legally married, we've been told when we investigated over in Nigeria my last trip.
Right. So are you still paying for everything?
No, even this trip, for example, he is paying for his half of his own flight. I'm paying the other half, yes. I've sent no cash since, well, before the show, actually, quite a few years, but I've sent no cash, no looking after him, nothing. He has a job over there. He's self-sufficient.
So, Jordan, what do you say about all of this?
Still very skeptical of the whole thing. Not 100% sure if I'm convinced that he isn't real, that he is a scammer, and I'm not 100% convinced that that he's ever going to get to come over here and be with my mom.
Did you try to verify the marriage certificate that we verified and they said doesn't exist?
When I went over the last trip, we went to the very place where the marriage certificate is validated and where we were married. Papers were signed. We got a new paper from them verifying all the information. That's been also sent into the Canadian government, and we are legitimately married.
Will the two of you let us know if he ever sets foot on Canadian soil. Will you take that picture and let us know, because we want to know.
Well, I hope you have that goal. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. All right, coming up, a divorced dad of two who got a lot more than he bargained for when he went searching for love online. We'll find out what happened next. Closed captioning provided by... My former guest, Bart, is a divorced father of two small children looking for love and thought he hit the jackpot with Megan. But soon his luck changed when Megan died within weeks of meeting Bart. He received her ashes, and suddenly a text from her best friend, Allie, appeared on his phone. He met Allie, and she encouraged him to get back on the dating scene. So he found love again with Allison. She died, but then came back to life. Bart got suspicious, did some sleuthing, and figured out there was no Allison, and that Megan's helpful friend Allie was really a woman named Jenny, a married mother of two who concocted 18 different characters to lure him into her online web of deceit. Take a look.
My wife and I went through a divorce. Some friends of mine suggested that I try online dating. Megan seemed like a nice girl, and she was very beautiful. The morning of June 15th, she called me and she told me that she'd been diagnosed with leukemia. Eventually, her brother Matt texted me and said, if you have anything to say to her, you better say it, because she's not going to be with us much longer. Within about 2 hours, I got word that she did not make it. She had written a final letter to me and a final letter to Allie, her best friend. Allie was great. She really helped me through Megan's death. They had her body cremated. I certainly would not ask for any of the ashes, but I was offered some, and I had it at my house. Weeks later, Allie said, you need to move on with your life. So I turned on my profile. There was a gorgeous girl named Allison. She worked as a special agent. January 13th, her partner contacted me and said, Allison's been hurt. They beat her, they raped her, they slit her throat. She has broken bones, pushed her out of the back of a moving van, and she got shot in the leg. I was told she began hemorrhaging and eventually lost so much blood, and she died. Again, completely devastated. I've lost 2 women in my life in literally less than a year. I went to see my friend Allie. I picked up her car keys and I looked, and there was a library card on it with the name Jean, not Allie. And that's when I realized Allie was lying to me.
So what the hell's going on here? What kind of person would go to such great lengths to break Bart's heart? Well, you know what? She's here.
My name is Jeannie. I was pretending to be Allie. I was just looking for connection, for friendship. Eventually, Bart figured everything out.
What the hell were you thinking to play with somebody's life like this? Take me through the moment that you decided to box up some human ashes and send those to him.
Everything that I did was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Fortunately, nobody's really dead.
I had a friend said you can either let this make you bitter or better, and we are choosing to let it make us better.
So how's Bart doing now? Is he still looking for love online? Has he met someone who makes him happy? Well, take a look.
Hey, Dr. Phil, Bart Rocket here, along with my family, my son Caden, my daughter Brooklyn. Going on your show was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done in my entire life. I was very, very concerned about how people would perceive me. I literally threw everything out there, and I just told my story. It did me good because it gave me this newfound freedom that I absolutely didn't know I could have. I now just don't worry about what people think about me. We also hope that we put a stop to what this Jeannie girl was doing to so many other guys. I've certainly learned some very valuable lessons from it. I still think online dating is absolutely a great way to meet people that you normally wouldn't come across in day-to-day life. I focus on what's important in life and what really matters. And to me, what's most important in my life and what really matters is these 2 little guys right here. We're doing absolutely great as a family. We're traveling the world right now. These 2 kids, out of 50,000 people, they were the top 14 finalists in America's Got Talent, known as the Kid Magician. We're doing television shows all over the world, on our way to China right now. We're having a blast. My hope is to one day meet another woman that will love me and accept my children and be able to accept my crazy busy lifestyle. Thanks again.
Wow, still optimistic about love and keeping busy. I want to thank all of my guests today and thank you for watching. So long.